What is going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I want to talk to you about Virgin Galactic, tickers SPCE. I want to give you a good breakdown of what the data points are saying and given the circumstances where things might be going from here. Before I do, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And without further ado, let's get right to it. So it is currently up 3.9%, so a fairly good rally today. And this is largely because of optimism based on the broader economy, because the whole system and the whole banking system for the most part is temporarily patched. So as far as it causing a further problem, I think people are a little bit more reassured by that. And the Feds are going to be making their decision rate tomorrow. And I think a lot of people are very cautiously optimistic about that. And for instance, if it does come in as unchanged, this is where a lot of growth stocks such as Virgin Galactic is just going to skyrocket very, very fast because they are very oversold. So Stochastic is currently at 9. So like I said, very oversold. Number of retail investors are very much up today, and clearly, like I said, because of the broader optimism. But in regards to Virgin, there is no specific news, no SEC filings, nothing recent, unfortunately, other than this news that did come out last week. So in between my two updates, so them just having a little bit more of a funding potential issue. But then again, I think this was already very much known stuff that you can kind of tell. But like I said, when it comes down to it, I'll give you a quick update as far as, for instance, shorts, because shorts play a pretty big part in Virgin. So right now, short score is currently 80, utilization is 100%. On a side note, if you guys have any questions about any of this information, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to break that down for you. But there is currently 158,000 shares being returned, and that doesn't seem like a big deal, but it kind of is, because in the past, whenever Virgin does rally, even if it's a small rally, then typically shorts are there to suppress it, but today they're not. So like I said, I think a lot of people are very much cautiously optimistic about the rate decision coming out tomorrow. But of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so you guys do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But 22.5% of the free float being shorted is pretty significant, and that works out to be around 51.6 million shares. Cost to borrow is kind of penny, so it's 2.1%. So as far as Virgin ever having a epic squeeze, most likely not. But again, I bring up this information because it's a good benchmark to use. And in general, behind the scenes, Virgin is very much heavily shorted. Just it's not there to have a squeeze, because in order for a squeeze to occur, you need a fairly high cost to borrow, which unfortunately Virgin doesn't have. You have a lot of shares, or at least you need a lot of shares to be shorted, which Virgin does have, and you need a good high utilization, which Virgin has. But there's one thing that Virgin is missing, is a surprise catalyst. So technically, it's not all there, but of course, just moving on from that, as far as options activity, so this is kind of what stands out. So as you can see, there is a lot more puts being purchased, insinuating more downside is coming. And based on the most active chains, it looks like it is set for around July, and also about 1 month from now, being around $3 to $4. So of course, options don't necessarily move the stock price, but it's a sentiment. So of course, you can take that how you see fit. But when it comes to, for instance, the latest Morningstar report did come out, I believe it was today, and it shows the fair market value for Virgin being $11.26. But the uncertainty is very high. I know very high kind of sounds bad, but in reality, it's not. There's also extreme, and I believe one level above that. So let me know your thoughts on that. Clearly, I think behind the scenes, there is a lot of good future value for Virgin. They're just going through a little bit more of a potential issue right now. But moving on from that, as far as dark pool transactions, there's only been one today for 101,000. But keep in mind, these only indicate anything over 100,000. As far as the secondary market, I will give you a good breakdown of that. So there was only one as well on the secondary market, which is what typical retail investors do trade on, and that was for 167,000. So as of right now, with the indicators how they are and all the data points, currently, based on this, it is trading between, it looks like the S3 and the S2. So 407 is a very big point that you need to watch for, and vice versa, $4.71 as far as a potential breakout. I personally feel, and not to sound like a broken recorder, but it is solely going to come down on what the Feds say, and as far as if they're optimistic about the future or not, and what their decision is. Of course, if it goes unchanged or 25 or 50 basis points, whatever it might be. So I think in general, this is going to be kind of stagnant around this range up until tomorrow. So tomorrow you will see a lot of big action, either breaking below that or above that. But of course, like I said, behind the scenes, Virgin Virgin is extremely at a massive discount. So a lot of value investors, I feel, are getting in today. And you can tell that, like I said, based on just the number of retail investors getting in. So a lot more value, especially to be sought out with Virgin, but based on the technicals, it is below a lot of the pivotal moving averages. So once again, you guys take that for what you see that, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just throwing a bunch of facts at you guys. You guys determine that and see what is credible, what is not. On a side note, if you do like, for instance, a lot of this compiled information in one, you can take advantage of Seeking Alpha's 7-day free trial. Link in the description below, and also I'll put it in the comments. Over and above that, I just want to say, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Give yourself a shout out as well if you have been buying during this dip, because this dip right here is very scary, and especially past this point right here, this is a little bit more of a virtual cliff, if you want to call it that. So very much unknown territory here. It could go down very, very fast. But of course, give yourself a shout out if you have been buying or whatever it might be, because like I said, I think long-term Virgin is going to do a lot of good things. Just a lot of these very high growth stocks are extremely volatile, and I think that's a massive understatement. But no matter what, let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Don't forget to take advantage of this promo, as I've said in the past. Link in the description below and also the comments. Only up until March the 31st with moomoo. All you have to do, open up an account and you get one free stock. Each stock is valued up to $2,000, so just do that in among itself, and that is a complete no-brainer. Free shares for you, and I think that's a good accommodation considering Virgin has been going down. So it's a good tit for tat, if you want to call it that. And also, if you want to throw $100 at it as well, you do get additional free stocks. But link is in the description below. Without further ado, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on Virgin Galactic.